time trying to find good competition. You know, you can play all the weak teams you want and put up some great numbers and win games 20-0, but it doesn't do you any good.
No, it doesn't. It really doesn't.
East Kentwood will be one of the few teams that will skate with them and give them a great game. They have played Cranbrook, one of the top-ranked teams in Class A, and their only loss, Flint Powers comes in with a 17-1-1 record. Their only loss came against a weak Davidson team that they probably should not have lost to. So for all intents and purposes, aside from that one poor outing in a game that they didn't have two of their top three scorers, this is all but an undefeated team. So Kentwood will have their hands full today. Brandon Freusland, the starting goaltender for East Kentwood. Brett, you're familiar with Brandon in the days that you coached him as a kid. Talk a little bit about Brandon. I know he hasn't been a goaltender all his life.
No, he hasn't. In fact, I was trying to figure out how long it has been, but I can't say he's been playing goaltender probably more than 4 or 5 years. He always played defense when I coached him, but he's always been a very determined player and always worked very hard. And I don't know, he just has a certain instinct that you need to play this game, and I think that's why he's done so well as a goaltender.
As a former coach of these kids, who are some of the other guys that stick out in your mind? Who are the ones you remember and why? Certainly.
Good or bad?
Well, let's start with the good.
No, there are a lot of good players on Kentwood's team. You know, they have an excellent program, and you know, bringing these kids up from just little tots, and I mean, it all starts at the roots, and you're starting to see now what some of the production has done here. It's producing great hockey players. Jim Jensen, of course, being a tremendous hockey player.
And credit for that, very frankly, goes to the coaches at the early levels. I mean, if you don't have the good coaching at that level, you're not going to have the good players when they get to this point.
Well, I'd like to think that, Tim, but I also have to look at just the community support that Kentwood has gotten, and the Kentwood Hockey Association, you know, is an excellent organization, and they put a lot of effort into their program, and hey, it pays off. It's obvious.
Warm-ups are concluding, and the two teams will be ready to have the introductions, the national anthem, and then get this one underway. Again, Flint Powers comes in with a 17-1-1 record. East Kentwood is 17-2. Flint Powers was a Class A team until this year, and just now have gone down to Class B, and I believe they're ranked in the top 5 in Class B. I tried to get that out of head coach Ron Baum, whether this might be the best team they faced all year. Then politically wise, he would not answer the question directly. He did beat a great Alpena team, ranked, I think, in the number 4, I think, at the time in Class A, and they defeated Alpena 3-2. That might have been their toughest game. You remember one we did here on TV 23 several weeks ago against Forest Hill Central, a scoreless game through the first 2 periods, and Kentwood had to come up with 2 goals in the third to win that one 2-0. That was one of their tighter games. I suspect this one may be one of the biggest and best games that we've seen all year. 2 teams are lined up at their goal line, and we will be getting the introductions from public address announcer Rick Gaffin in just a minute. Both coming off games. Brent, I didn't get a chance to ask Ron Baum this earlier, but these kids aren't used to playing games in back-to-back days or nights.
No.
Do you think that'll be a factor?
I would like to think you got to look at it from 2 different ways. First of all, it may in the fact that you could be physically tired, but at the same time, it keeps your mind on what you're doing. It keeps your mind in the game that you got to play hockey, and if you can stay focused, I don't think that the tiring is that
well,
big a factor.
Maybe at our age it would.
No, definitely.
At their age, I suppose it wouldn't. Both were in pretty physical games late last night. Certainly, Powers played until about 11 o'clock last night, so maybe it won't be a factor. We're getting the introductions now, and we'll join PA announcer Rick Gaffin.
Bill Germain. On wing, wearing number 23, Alan Smith. On defense, wearing number 6, Jamie Marshall. On defense, wearing number 12, Mitch Panchula. And in goal, wearing number 33, Matt Ebott. And now for the home team Falcons from East Kentwood. On wing, wearing number 6, Steve Knubel. At center, wearing number 12, Jason Bravada. On wing, wearing number 16, Jim Jensen. On defense, wearing number 8, Dan Rubline. On defense, wearing number 5, Troy Cooley. And in goal, wearing number 35, Brandon Freusland. Ladies and gentlemen, please rise for the playing of the national anthem.
For their 18th win of the year. In fact, both teams today come in looking for win number 18. Kentwood 17-2, ranked number 1 still in Class A in the state, and Flint Powers 17-1 among the top 5 in Class B. We should point out the players to look out for, I guess, in the way of Flint Powers. Number 19, Jeff Clark, one of their leading scorers. He had 2 goals last night. Number 22, Billy Germain, the center on their second line, also had 2 goals last night, and he too is one of their leading scorers. As we look at the 2 teams, East Kentwood there around their goal and around goaltender Brendan Freuslin. Freuslin played particularly well last night in the first game in that 7-0 shutout win against Bloomfield Hills. That was his 7th shutout of the season. And we'll be getting this one underway in just a minute. Ron Baum surprised me a little bit in saying that 7-0 win was kind of a disappointment last night. He called it a no-brainer. I guess from a coaching standpoint, Brent, that's the one thing that you can be frustrated the easiest about is when your team is just not playing disciplined hockey. The score is one thing, but if you're not playing discipline, coaches will get pretty upset with that.
That is right, and I think, too, that they have 6 penalties in the second period, and when your team is shorthanded, I'll tell you, for a coach, there's nothing more frustrating as far as that goes.
We're about to get the opening face-off. Billy Germain, the center on the number 2 line for Powers, will take the draw against Jason Bravata. And Bravata wins the draw. Troy Cooley at his own blue line gets it to Jensen at center ice. Now here's a pass to Knuble. Knuble trying to get it over to Bravata in front. That never got through. Now Bravata in the corner. Bravata sends it out in front to Knuble, and his shot was deflected wide. And at center ice, Al Smith will knock it into the Kentwood zone. Billy Germain, number 22, in there quickly for Flint Powers. This is Smith, and Bravata steps in front of him. And Bravata will bring it out of his own zone. Jason Bravata crosses the line, leaves it for Knuble. That was too far in front of him. And they'll bang it off the glass and back to center ice.
Kentwood staying in their lanes. They're doing a good job of picking up the man, and Flint's just kind of playing around them right now. They're not really playing it out the way they should be. They got to stay on the Kentwood players and make them make mistakes.
Jensen digging for it in the corner, comes in with it. Now comes back out to the line. That was McGinnis who kept it in. Jensen goes off for the line change. And Flint Powers will again try to come out. This is Jeff Clark. Jeff Clark, number 19, hits the blue line, makes one move. Trying to go wide on Gibbons, and Gibbons stayed right with him.
Well, got a little problem there behind the net. They got to spread those players out.
This is McGinnis now. McGinnis up to Herbanis. Herbanis is hit there along the boards, fighting for it in the Kentwood zone. See who comes out with it. Jeff Clark does. Centers it. No one's there. And Gibbons will be there to pick it up for Kentwood. He's knocked to the ice. No penalty called. McGinnis, in turn, sends the Powers player to the ice.
Getting a little physical down here right now. Flint Powers took it to him forechecking wise, but now Kentwood's making it back.
Chad Myers has it over the line and was stopped right there. Here's Morton. Morton at center ice, and it goes up over the boards and out of play.
I suspect you're going to see some real physical play if that anything turns out that we just saw. Well, there, that little flurry down in the Kentwood end.
Gibbons was sent to the ice. That could have been a tripping call. And then the Kentwood player came in. One of his teammates came in and sent the Flint Powers player sprawling. No penalties called yet. 13:23 left in the first period. We're just underway here at East Kentwood High School, the championship game of the Kentwood Classic Hockey Tournament. Oliver at center ice with Fridley and Rusty Ross on the other side. This is Matt Johnson in his own zone. Johnson lead pass to Ross too far in front of him, and that'll go far enough for an icing. I thought Ross got a piece of that, evidently not. And they'll bring it back to the right of goaltender Brandon Freusland. So far, we didn't really see much of it in the way of trying to match up lines. Flint Power started with their number 2 line, centered by Billy Germain, against the Jensen Bravado line. And I tried to get some information out of head coach Court Benson about whether they'd match up lines. And since he only goes with 2 lines, he says he really doesn't have the luxury to do that.
Sometimes that's not really necessary. You know, you got to wait for the flow of the game to be established before you really try to make that kind of determination.
Clark along the right side. Goes now, swings around behind the goal, looking to pass out at the line. This is Gebhardt. Gebhardt, number 20, tries to make a move and is tied up there. Now Clark will jump on the loose puck. Clark tries to make a move around Fridley. Fridley does makes a nice play to hang on to it. He'll play it up off the boards to Ross. Ross tips it by his man at the line. Ross going in one-on-one. He's got one man beat. Now Oliver will take the shot. Nice save by goaltender Matt Abbott.
That's a good play by Rusty Ross. Bring that puck back and get it across to that other player to get that shot off.
And that was a decent shot up high on the short side, and Abbott got the pad on it and came down with it, and the glove caused the face-off to the right of the Flint Powers goal. 12:39 left in the first period.
That was probably Kentwood's first shot on goal, actually, wasn't it, sir?
I believe it was. Last night, Flint Powers, if they had any weakness, it was for a while trying to get out of their own zone. See if that develops here in the championship game. Jensen behind the goal. Tries to play it around Smith, and Smith will knock it away from him. Jensen still with it behind the goal. Right out in front to Knuble, and Knuble banks it home. Matt Abbott, the goaltender, never saw it.
Never saw him at all.
Jensen fighting for the loose puck behind the goal. Finally beat his man. Saw Steve Knuble sitting out on the doorstep in front, and Knuble had an empty net to put it in. And just that quickly, it's 1-0 East Kentwood.
That was a good and instinctive play by Jim Jensen. He knew the man was there. They're playing position hockey. He dumps it out in front and slam it home. There's nothing to it. That's how the game should be played.
It goes without saying. That's the one thing that they can do better than any other team. Well, maybe we'll get a chance to look at it, is just how quickly East Kentwood is able to move the puck.
Beautiful, beautiful. Look at this. Jensen wins the battle back in there. Where is he? There he is.
Sends it right out in front. A backhand pass.
Gorgeous. Good play. That's what it's all about.
Steve Knuble gets the goal. For him, that's number 16 on the year. And East Kentwood has jumped out to the early 1-0 lead here. Chad Morton in behind his own goal is hit there, but he gets it to Rubline. Rubline plays it up. Lead pass now to Jensen. Jensen tries to make a move. Bravada comes in. Here to Jensen, and Jensen scores. Boy, that play looked like it was almost broken up because Bravada had a little trouble with the original pass, but then as soon as he sent it over to Bravada, Jensen cut to the front of the net, and Bravada got it to him.
That was just like practice. Jensen made that whole play happen coming out, and when they dumped the puck out, they made a great rush out of the zone.
Let's take another look at it. You'll see the pass from Rubline up to Jensen. Jensen to Bravada, back to Jensen, and he bangs it in.
Bravada did a great job of controlling that puck as he came down the left side.
But Matt Abbott, the goaltender, has faced 3 shots. He's given up 2 goals, and I wouldn't fault him for either one of the two.
You can't fault the goaltender for that.
A shot by Herbanis was deflected out of play. That's got to be a tad bit of a surprise for Flint Powers. figuring that they came into this game certainly capable of skating with and staying right with East Kentwood to go down 2-0 in the first 3 minutes of the hockey game. I'm sure they didn't expect that.
No, and you know that's a difficult thing for a coach now to keep that team motivated to play, and especially in that case because they're not playing that badly. They just gave up. They made 2 mistakes, and boom, you're down 2-0 just like that.
Herbanis digging for loose pucks behind the Flint Power goal, and Flint Powers comes out. This is Kelch. Kelch with a nice move. He sends it over, looking for Sean Africa, number 10, and he couldn't handle the pass. Now Gibbons will try to bring it out. He gets it over to Herbanis, and Herbanis knocks it to center ice. Jeff Clark intercepts that pass, and Clark will send it back in. This is the number 1 line for Flint Powers. 19, Jeff Clark with Sean Africa and Sean Kelch. This is Kelch, number 4. He'll look over to Jeff Clark. Clark on the right side. He crosses the line, but is hit there. A nice defensive play. They're 2 tied up right in front of the Kentwood bench, but this is Kelch in the corner.
They're getting physical, and I'm surprised the referees would let some of that stuff go.
Cooley had gotten tied up with Clark, and now Clark's going to take another couple of shoves at him.
I don't know.
Those were the 2 that were tied up in front of the bench, and I thought, I was going to say, I thought they might go. There isn't that element in high school hockey where you fight, but they were taking shots at each other.
Well, you get intense in this game, and you know, and often I know as fighting, people don't look, you know, it's a part of hockey, but at the same time, it's not necessary. And this is an intense, aggressive game, and it just happens. You get a little angry, and
you know that'll be a topic we can get into between periods. As a former coach, I want to get your ideas as to when you eliminate fighting from hockey, there are other things that come into play that you'd rather not have. Behind the goal, this is Linkowski for Flint Powers, tied up there, and Matt Johnson will now get it out to Steve Knubel at center ice. Knubel looks to Bravada at the line. Bravada tips it into the corner. Bravada's got Knubel in front. The pass never got to him. Bravada now behind the goal, holds up, and Penchula bothers him there. Here's a pass from Knubel looking to set up Jim Jensen. It never got to him. Jensen now in the corner. Jensen tries to get it to Knubel, and that's deflected away. Jensen throws his body into a man, hoping to keep the puck in, but Al Smith brings it back. He'll take a shot. That's off Brandon Freusland's helmet, and it goes into the corner. Jim Jensen, 16 for Kentwood, comes out with it. Jensen to Bravada, tries to get it back to Jensen. That hit a skate, and Matt Johnson unable to keep it. No, I beg your pardon, he did keep it in. Mitch Penchula, number 12, plays it up the boards to Linkowski. And now Kentwood tries to keep it in. Bravada makes a nice play to keep it in momentarily. And now Rusty Ross will send it back to Johnson. Line change for East Kentwood. This is the Oliver Fridley line for East Kentwood. Oliver Fridley and Rusty Ross. Fridley steps in there, picks up a giveaway. Now goes behind the goal, centers it, and Ross couldn't get the shot off. Now Fridley will, and that's deflected behind the goal. This is Oliver to Fridley, and Fridley hits the post, and it goes into the corner. Decent setup. Fridley just didn't get it on goal. He hit the outside of the post. In his own zone, Chad Morton lead pass to Ross. Ross leaves it there for Fridley. That's intercepted. Here comes Clark. Clark's got Africa with him. The shot and the save by Bravada.
Nice stop.
Or Freusland, I beg your pardon. And Chad Morton will get it out. Say number 19 for Flint Powers, Jeff Clark, may have the hardest shot on the ice today. This kid can shoot the hockey puck. This is Oliver. Oliver goes in, and oh, what a save by the goaltender, Matt Abbott. Oh, what a save. Darren Oliver let a backhand go that was labeled for the top shelf, and Matt Abbott threw up the glove and made a great save.
That's the kind of stuff you like to see in Sports Illustrated coverage.
I dream about saves like that.
That is it. That's what it's all about. See one of those. Now he just needs the mask with the painted fire and all that stuff on there.
That had the goal written all over it. It was going to be a 3-0 game at that point. But Abbott keeps it a 2-0 hockey game.
Nice backhand shot by Oliver there.
Chad Myers now at center ice. Loses the draw against Jeff Clark. And Sean Africa, number 10, plays it off the boards to Clark. Clark 2-on-2 for Powers. He's got Kelch going to the net, and that was played well by Herbanis, who forced it out to center ice and offside.
Flint's one line here is doing quite well. They've got to be a little more organized in their zone. Kentwood's basically controlling the play and setting it up in what I would call, picture board form. They are really doing a good job as far as making their plays and making everything happen.
Well, granted, I haven't seen every game that Kentwood has played, but I would hesitate to say that they probably haven't played too many teams that have skated this well, because Flint Power Powers does skate particularly well.
Yeah, players.
Johnson keeps it in. This is Herbanis along the boards. Sends it in front, looking for McGinnis. See if Kentwood can keep it in. Chad Myers had it for a minute, but Jeff Clark will come up with it now at center ice. On a 3-on-2, Kentwood trying to get back. Clark goes now around the outside, back in from behind the net. Cooley got a piece of it there, but they'll keep it in. Cooley takes a man down, no penalty called. And now Cooley will bring it out. His shot from center ice is deflected into the corner by Abbott. And they'll go for the line change. Bravada, Jensen, and Knuble coming up for East Kentwood. At center ice, this is Sean Africa. His pass was intercepted by Knuble, and now Jensen intercepts a pass. Nice move by Jensen to get over the line. He's got Knuble going to the net, to Knuble, and he can't get the shot off. Tried to one-time that, got a piece of it, but not nearly enough. Now Jensen brings it in offside, and we'll get the stoppage of play. 2-0, 7:42 left in the first period, and Kentwood in the title game of their own tournament, the Kentwood Classic, has the early lead against Flint Powers.
A lot of speed in this line right up here in front for Kentwood. Jensen, Bravada, and Knuble, all three very quick to get the puck, and they're picking those loose pucks up, and that's what makes the play happen.
This is Chad Morton. He'll send it in behind goaltender Matt Abbott. Jensen goes in there, takes it, his man out in the corner, comes up with the puck. Now right out in front is Knuble. He spinned and let the shot off, and that was wide. Knuble with another shot, and that's deflected back behind the goal. A couple of good scoring opportunities already. Jensen in the corner. Jensen makes a move around Penchula in behind the goal. He gets it to Bravada in the other corner. Bravada makes a move around one man. He's hog-tied there. And now Penchula will come out with it. Big number 12, Mitch Penchula at center ice. Was checked there. And it goes weakly into the zone. Rubline in the corner. To Bravada, to Knuble. Knuble trying to get it to Jensen. They pass a little behind him. Jensen had to come back for it. Jensen all alone. Now Bravada with a shot and a save. And he'll cover up as Jensen goes to the goal. He got a quick whistle because that puck did pop loose. But it was a good shot by Bravada, and the goaltender had to be sharp.
Flint's defense has got to cover up on those Kentwood forwards and make them, make them respect them a little more, if you want to use that term, I guess.
Well, so many teams have tried to slow down Jimmy Jensen and Jason Bravada at center ice, and how many teams have been successful in doing it? Because those two skate that well. One of the big reasons Kentwood is 17-2 coming into today's action. This is Darren Oliver centering now Ross, and Ross gets a shot off the faceoff, and that's deflected over the net. Fridley in the corner with Kelsch. Sean Kelsch for Flint goes around behind his own goal and brings it up the left side. At center ice, Tom Gibbons to Fridley at the line. Fridley will wind up. Actually, that was deflected to Ross. Now Fridley in front, in the slot. He can't get the shot off. Now a shot by number 11, Darren Oliver, was handled by goaltender Matt Abbott. Rink wide pass to Sean Africa on the left side. Africa is hit there, but knocks it in behind Brandon Freusland.
This is where Flint has got to make the play go. I mean, when the puck goes in the other team's zone, you've got to come in there and attack the puck and make something happen. And when you just kind of glide into the zone, you allow the other team to escape, and it doesn't do you any good.
It was one of the things that Flint did particularly well last night in the game, the first round game against Portage Northern. They forechecked particularly well and kept it in on that side of the ice most of the night. Number 23, Al Smith, one of the little guys on this team. He's a sophomore, but boy, he sticks his nose in and creates things. Those are the kind of players you need. Sean Kelsch intercepts a pass, a clearing pass for Kentwood, and they'll have to try to come out of their own zone again. Having some difficulty now. Kelsch right on the doorstep with a shot, and Brandon Freusland made the first save, sitting right there, but he gets the whistle. The net is knocked off the moorings.
Another quickie, really. But it's difficult, though. A referee, it's a difficult thing to be a referee. No matter what anybody says, it's a difficult thing to be a referee, and when you just do your best.
You sound like you've done it.
Yeah, I have, and it's difficult. How many times can I say that over and over?
Number 10, Sean Africa, was a little upset with the quick whistle, but had it scored anyway, had it gone behind Freusland, it would have been called off, because at that point the net was off the poles. And the face-off will be to Freusland's left side. Flint wins the draw. Here's Kelsch with a shot. That's deflected in front by Clark and over the goal.
That's a fun play for those forwards to be sitting in front of the goaltender and having that big defenseman crank those shots up from the blue line. You got to really like that.
Again, for Kelsch, is a line mate of Jeff Clark ordinarily. But Kelsch with the shot from the point, and he will play the point on the power play, as we'll, I'm sure, see before the day's out. Clark loses the draw to Oliver. It sits right there in the face-off circle, and now Troy Cooley will try to play it up Ahead to Fridley at center ice. Fridley has to go back for it. Fridley looking rink wide to Rusty Ross. That goes through his legs. He's hit there, but Darren Oliver jumps in for the loose puck. Oliver in front to Fridley. In front, he takes the shot and right into the goaltender's pads. Good scoring opportunity now. Fridley with another shot, and that's deflected wide. Darren Oliver, Fridley. Fridley goes right out in front to Rusty Ross, and that was intercepted by Panchula. Or I beg your pardon, 20 is Gebhardt. At center ice, Jeff Clark hits Cooley at the line, or Rubline at the line, and Kentwood will get it out again. Chad Myers jumps into deep into the power zone. He's got it behind the goal, looking for some help in front. Now he's got Herbanis. Herbanis with a shot and a save by Abbott. Boy, Herbanis had it set up, and he had that far side of the net to shoot for, and he didn't really get a particularly good shot off.
It's a good low shot there. That's difficult for that goaltender to stop on that glove side, and he just got the inside of the skate on it, or that puck would have been in the net. It had been 3-0 Kentwood.
That almost looked like he got a knuckleball shot off. He didn't get it all, and had he, it might have gotten in under Abbott. In any case, still 2-0 East Kentwood. Now with 5 minutes left in the first period. This is Mitch Panchula in his own zone, but now we get a whistle, and I'm not sure why.
That Panchula is like a battleship on skates, isn't he?
He's a big boy.
Boy, he is. Glad I'm not out there playing with him.
It was funny to watch him in a game last night. He was bringing it down the boards, and it's funny to watch the other team just get out of his way. They don't want to have anything to do with him.
Smart thinking on their part.
Johnson sent it in offside, but they'll bring it back out. Al Smith, number 23 for Powers, is taken off the puck. This is Matt Johnson in the corner. Johnson, a little guy, but he's hanging tough with some of these big Flint Power kids. Urbanis now will send it up rink wide to McGinnis. McGinnis' center ice pass was intercepted and knocked back into the Kentwood zone, and we'll get an icing call. 4:25 left in the first period. Kentwood with the 2-0 lead on quick goals in the first 3 minutes of the hockey game. Jimmy Jensen got the second one. Steve Knubel got the first one on a pass from Jensen. And then the second goal, Jensen from Jason Bravada. And before the game was 3 minutes old, it was a 2-0 hockey game for East Kentwood.
I'm kind of surprised we haven't any penalties here so far in the first period with the way things have been going, because they have been playing physical hockey. And the players are making sure of that, you know, that they're following through with their checks and making things happen.
So this is Jensen in the corner now. Jensen's pass was intercepted there behind the goal. And 21 Holloway will knock it to center ice and into Kentwood zone. Troy Cooley back after it, plays it off the boards. And Flint Power sends it in offside.
So probably bring that one all the way down.
Boy, how fast the memory goes. I know Knubel with the first goal. Jensen did get the second goal, did get credit for the second goal, didn't he?
Jensen dug that first. Jensen got the second goal, yes.
From Bravada.
And
we didn't really pay too much attention to his goal totals. Came into with 27 goals, so make it 28 for Jimmy Jensen. Boy, what a season.
Wasn't it just last week, too? Jimmy Jensen set the East Kentwood High School scoring record.
The all-time scoring record, that's right.
That's right.
Knubel now looking to set things up in front. Now it comes right to the goaltender. He knocks it in behind. This is Knubel looking for Rubline, I believe, and that didn't get through to him. Here's Holloway. Holloway throws it in toward the goal. Jensen back after it in his own zone, and he'll try to wind up. Goes down the far boards. Now he'll pull out in front. Bothered there by a man. He's got Knubel with him, and Jensen's shot's deflected up high and out of play. 3.5 minutes now left in the first period.
Pace has slowed down here a lot. We've got a lot of whistles, and this kind of can really throw off the momentum of your team, the Kentwood side. And as far as Flint Power goes, this gives them a little chance to kind of reorganize and maybe put some strategy in effect here.
Well, you're right. It's slowed down a little bit, and we haven't seen as many of the physical play as we had, as many hits as we had early on. Still no penalties called in the hockey game. I would imagine Flint Powers has got to play that physical game to try to slow down Kentwood.
Kentwood has an offensive scoring machine. You have to shut it down.
Fridley in behind the goal. I believe that's Panchula with him. And Clark will play it up around the boards to Africa to center ice. That was too far for him. And Rubline will knock it back in. At center ice, this is Sean Kelch. Kelch hits the blue line. Now he gets it over to Africa. That was just too far in front. Africa now sends it out in front. No one there except Rusty Ross, and he'll play it to center ice. Sean Kelch at center. over the blue line. He's got Africa with him, and he's tied up there. In fact, brought down. Flint Power fans looking for a penalty there. Nothing called. And Fridley has trouble coming out with it at his own blue line. They'll try it again. Play a little ragged right now. Neither team able to do much in the way of setting things up. And we'll get an offside call. And I beg your pardon, an icing call. They'll bring it all the way down.
Really, the only opportunities that Flint Powers has had to this point, Tim, have been from this line. And you can tell the kids know how to skate.
Number 19, Jeff Clark. Number 4, Sean Kelch. They're big goal scorers. Interestingly, I talked to the coach, Cart Benson, before the game, hoping to get some stat sheets from the on these players. And like many coaches, and I guess like you in your coaching days, he discourages stat sheets.
Well, you got to look at it as a team game. And, you know, it's great to count goals, but at the end of the season, your win or loss record is determined by the final score, not who gets it.
Penchulo will play it rink wide to Sean Africa at center ice. Now here's Clark. Clark didn't have anybody with him. Kelch had been tied up at center ice and didn't get into play. Now Kelch in the corner, being watched there by Matt Johnson. Johnson doing a good job tying him up. He's knocked to the ice. That could have been a goal. Now right out in front to Africa with a shot, and that goes wide. I don't know if Brandon Freusland got a piece of it or not, but we did get a whistle. And I guess it was the goal knocked off. Boy, I tell you what, Matt Johnson took a cross-check down there, and that was not called and certainly could have been.
There's been a few here that have done that. You know, it depends what the referees want to let happen.
You know, I guess as long as the game's not in jeopardy of getting out of hand, you ordinarily would like to let the players decide it on the ice instead of the referees becoming too big a part of the outcome.
And I really wouldn't say that it's been one-sided at all. It has been pretty much both ways. The referee's been letting things go both ways. It really doesn't matter then.
Al Smith now centering a line with Linkowski on the right wing and Matt Holloway on his left. Ordinarily, that would be Billy Germain on that line. Germain, I don't know if he's got an injury problem or not, maybe just getting a breath here. 2:13 left in the first period. Comes out to the blue line. Knocked back in, but Kentwood will clear it, and this is Knuble. Knuble, if he can catch up with it, has a good shot, and he does get the shot off, and Abbott with a nice glove save. Knuble had to catch up with that, and got it just in time to get a shot off, up high on the short sign. And goaltender Matt Abbott got the glove on it to keep this a 2-0 hockey game. Knuble skates well. He had to put on a charge there to catch up to that one. Jimmy Jensen wins the draw. Now Knuble gets the shot off, right off the face-off, and Matt Abbott does a good job covering up. That's one thing the power players have done fairly well, is cleared that front of the net for goaltender Matt Abbott. Again, Abbott in the first 3 shots on goal gave up 2 goals, but couldn't fault him for either one of the 2. Face off to the left of Matt Abbott. Jensen again with the draw. Now he'll knock it into the corner and hit there. Again, nothing called. Al Smith was the one that sent him to the ice. Loose puck there, but they're all banging into each other, all in a small knit group there. Al Smith takes a run at somebody else. Again, that was Jensen. Smith hit some. Oh, now he hits Gibbons from behind. That could have been a cross check. Here's a shot from the point by Morton, and Abbott got the pad on that. Al Smith throwing his weight around down there. He's not that big a kid, and he is just a sophomore. Now he and Knuble are going to get into it.
They're going to have to do something here, Tim, to kind of slow down that little part. You really can't play that way, you know.
Well, that's what I was saying. When the game looks like it could get out of hand, they're going to have to start making some of those calls now. Because I think Flint Powers, and you know, you can't blame Al Smith. He's trying to get his team into this a little bit more. So far, they have been dominated in this first period, at least on the scoreboard.
And there's nothing really happened that I would call as a flagrant penalty either. You know, it's just the little things that happen.
Now we'll get a whistle. I believe that just went in offside. Billy Smith, number 23. I knew I'd eventually say Billy Smith instead of Al Smith. And Al Smith, another former NHL player, although I believe Al Smith was a goaltender, wasn't he?
Billy Smith was a goaltender.
Wasn't Al Smith, too, a goaltender?
Yeah, as a matter of fact, I think he was.
Alan Smith, number 23, he is waved out of the face-off. But he's the physical intimidator, if you will. The guy throwing his weight around for Flint Powers, trying to create things. Holloway sends it in toward the goal. Freusland knocks that into the corner. Linkowski in after it. He's ridden off the puck. And now McGinnis will play it up. McGinnis to Rubline. Actually, that's Chad Myers. Here's Herbanez with a shot. That's wide. Myers looking for it off the back boards and can't get there quick enough as he's knocked off the play. And here's Linkowski. Linkowski's pass for him just went a little too far ahead of him. Chad Myers takes a hit right in front of the penalty box. Now Herbanis with a shot. Herbanis gets a good shot off, and Abbott makes the save. Now Herbanis did make a run at the goaltender, and here we go. Behind the goal, that's McGinnis. I tell you what, Brett, you may disagree with me, but I'm not so sure that Powers didn't have a reason to be a little angry at that, because the goaltender had made the save, and Herbanis, maybe we can look at it. Herbanis kept going to the goal.
He's coming in here now. You watch.
You tell me if he's a little too aggressive here.
No,
he jumps in there.
He doesn't hear the whistle. He goes in there. That's pretty much okay, you know, but you got to be careful.
Well, certainly if you do that, you got to expect that the defensemen are going to take exception to that. So
that's their job. And
penalties are called to Herbanis and Mitch Penchula, and I imagine they'll both get 2 minutes. We didn't see or hear the infractions.
I don't know what else I could call there except for roughing.
We'll wait and hear officially the infractions. It may be roughing. 46 seconds left, though, in the first period, and it's a 2-0 hockey game. East Kentwood with 2 quick goals, and now they'll play 4 aside. Jensen behind the goal, takes it there, sweeps it in front with a shot. A second shot is saved. Abbott stayed right with him. Jensen with a good scoring opportunity. Provided in the corner, leaves it for Jensen. Jensen to Cooley. Cooley with a shot, and that goes just wide. Got that shot off very quickly, and that play goes up over the glass and out of play. That was a nice play by Cooley because he had time to take the slap shot, but he wanted to get it off quick, and had that been on goal, that may have been the 3rd goal of the hockey game. Cooley let a shot, a wrist shot along the ice go, and had it nearly caught that corner on the short side.
Slap shot takes a lot of time to get off, and it's a fun shot to take, and it looks good, but you've got to get the quick shot off in your position, like Troy would say.
Jensen now with it at the line. Jensen makes a move into the face-off circle to the left of the goal, sends it out in front. That never got to Bravada. Now Cooley with a shot, and we'll get a whistle again. See what they call this time. Is it the goal again? I guess they are having some difficulty. I really didn't see it go off. Unfortunately, it turns out to be bad news for Kentwood because it was a scoring chance. Well, you put Bravada and Jensen, though, on the ice with just 4 players aside. There's a lot more room for both of them to create, and they're that much more dangerous. Jensen wins the draw. He'll go into the corner. He's got Cooley on that side of the point. It comes to Cooley. He'll play it back into the corner. Powers gives it away there. Can't clear. Now Jensen in behind the goal. Jensen tries on the short side to send it in front, and Abbott will cover up there with just 2 seconds left in the period. 1:17 in the 2 penalties. And I don't know, Brandon Freusland's out near the face-off circles. Do you pull the goaltender at this point?
You could do that. You've got 2 seconds. This is a very strategic play as far as the face-off goes. I mean, Jim Jensen basically has one thing to do, and in 2 seconds, he's got to get it to somebody to get a shot off.
Well, interestingly, there's nobody behind Jensen, so for him to win the draw, I guess he's just going to shoot off this face-off. And he never did get the shot off because Jeff Clark did a good job tying him up. And that will end the first period. Players mulling around in front there, taking a couple of whacks at each other. I think the Kentwood players taking a little exception to some activity on one of the power players' part. In any case, the first period is over. It is 2-0 East Kentwood. When they start the second period, the 2 players in the box will still have 1:15 left on their penalties. But all in all, I would think a fairly satisfying first period for East Kentwood.
I think so. They've controlled the play. They skated well. They basically shut down any opportunity that Flint Powers had in their end, and that's all you can expect. And with 2-goal lead after 1 period, I'd be pretty happy.
The final game of the Kentwood Classic Hockey Tournament. After 1, it's 2-0 Kentwood. We'll be back to wrap up that first period, tell you about the first period, and set up the second when we return with high school hockey on TV 23. To my right?
Is it on
my left? Okay. All right, how's that? I should have shaved today.
How's my forehead? That's what I was worried about.
Give me a 10, if you will. You see the yellow button over there? Back at East Kentwood High School, Tim Saunders along with Brett Heinlein, and pretty decent first period of play against teams we said would be very similar in some respects. Both rely on their one big lines for most of their offensive output. We saw it for Kentwood, and Flint, their number one line, had a few chances, never really got on track.
No, they didn't. The Kentwood defense did a really good job of breaking the play up and getting it out and not allowing that line to really mount any kind of attack.
The more I think about this, standing here next to you, I got to start finding some smaller color guys because you guys make me look like a midget out here. As a former coach, you go into the locker room now with your Kentwood team with a 2-0 lead. I don't think Ron Baum expected to come out of the first period, or first 3 minutes for that matter, with a 2-0 lead. That was kind of a nice way to start the hockey game. Does that allow your team to relax a little bit because the pressure's off at that point, isn't it?
Not necessarily, and I think the chance is here for Kentwood to just try to keep with their game, and they're doing a good job of playing. Flint Powers, on the other hand, is going to have to get a little more aggressive in the Kentwood zone and try to pressure Kentwood players.
Well, shots on goal, I don't know if it's deceiving. I frankly didn't believe it. 24 to, what was it, 24 to 3? 21 to 4, I beg your pardon. 21 to 4, a shot advantage for East Kentwood. It didn't seem that it was that one-sided.
No, it didn't, not at all. And I think a lot of that was quick things inside the net, a little dump shot here and there, which will add up shots in a hurry.
Well, we said 2 goals in the first 3 minutes. Jason Bravada came across. I don't know if Bravada got an assist on the first goal or not. It was actually Jensen that set up Steve Knuble from behind the goal. Knuble right on the doorstep and quickly made it a 1-0 hockey game. And then just less than a couple of minutes later, still before the game was 3 minutes old, Jensen gets a pass from Knuble, hits the line, sends it over to Bravada, and Bravada sends it to Jensen right in front. He tipped it by, and it was 2-0 East Kentwood. That's the score after the first period. Looking forward to an exciting second period, and we'll have that for you here at East Kentwood High School when hockey continues on TV 23. Back at East Kentwood High School, Tim Saunders along with Brett Heinlein, ready for the second period of play between East Kentwood and Flint Powers. 16 seconds as we look at the official times of those first 2 goals. 16 seconds, all that separated the 2 goals for East Kentwood. 2:37 of the first period, Knuble from Jensen to make it 1-0, and then 2:53, it was Jensen from Bravada and Rubline, and it was 2-0. Now after that first 3 minutes, neither team scored the rest of the way in that first period, and again, the shots are pretty one-sided, 21 to 4 for East Kentwood in the first period, and I've got to imagine that Flint Powers would like to see that change here in the second.
Definitely. This is definitely a time when Flint Powers is going to have to try to make something happen here and put the play to East Kentwood.
Now it's, they are playing 4 men aside for the first minute and 15 seconds of this period. This is Bravada, tips it into the power zone. He takes a man off of it and then takes the puck behind the goal. Jason Bravada tries to steer away there from a hit and unable to do so. 17 is Lundberg giving Bravada some trouble. Now Bravada tries to make a move into the slot. Jensen picks up a loose puck there. Jensen looking for Bravada in front, and he wasn't there. And the Chargers will finally have a chance to bring it out. This is 19 Jeff Clark. Up to Lundberg looking for Kelsch, and that was right through him. Jimmy Jensen trying to bring it in. Jensen still has control at the line. Tipped away from Rubline, and here comes Sean Kelsch. Sean Kelsch hits the blue line. He pulls up there. Now he'll wind up with a shot. That goes high and wide. Boy, he'd like to have that shot again, wouldn't he?
That's an airline shot right there. That one's out of here.
He held up at the blue line and had a good opportunity to wind up and let that shot go, but it was over everything.
It's pretty difficult once you get that adrenaline flowing, you know. Sometimes you never know where the puck's going to go, and you can sit and practice and hit that corner every time, but when you're in a game and you got the adrenaline flowing, boy, you never know what's going to happen to that puck once you lay the stick on it. That's what happened there.
For Flint Powers, it'll be Al Smith centering a line with Linkowski. I say centering a line, they're still playing 4 men aside. Rusty Ross knocks it into the Chargers zone, and Gabe Lundberg will take it. Off the boards, looking for Linkowski, too far in front for him. He takes it now off the boards, but Derek Fridley will have it. Fridley too far ahead for Matt Johnson. Now Rusty Ross takes it in offside.
The key to Kentwood controlling this part of the game right here is you see they've got their 4 players forming a box, spreading out, and making Flint Powers move around and trying to accommodate them, and that's how you get a control a 4-on-4 situation like that. Flint Powers is a little more bunched, and they're almost playing like they're a man short.
Kentwood taking the play to Flint Powers, and the Chargers obviously would like to have it the other way around. Linkowski wins the draw, but Matt Johnson actually it went right to Matt Johnson, and Johnson will bring it out of his own zone. Takes a hit there from Smith. Al Smith keeps it in onside, knocks it into the corner. Boy, keep an eye on 23 for Flint Powers. He really does make things happen out there. And most of it is just with his physical play. Ross now with it on the right side. Ross couldn't get by Penchula. Now a backhand pass right out in front of Fridley, and his shot was deflected back into the corner. This is Matt Holloway. He'll leave it there for Penchula. Big number 12, Mitch Penchula, is taken out there, but he'll knock it in behind the goal. Darren Oliver pulls up there. Oliver will come out with it. At center ice, he'll play it off the glass behind Fridley. Fridley can't keep it in. And Matt Johnson will send it in offside, and we'll get the whistle. They're going to call it all the way down. You know, I saw that play, and it was these refs in the second game last night in the first round of the tournament. They called an intentional offside about 5-6 times, and it's not a call you normally see. We may see it several times tonight because these guys were calling it pretty well the whole game last night.
The man that's in the zone has got to make it look like he's making an attempt to get out of the zone before the puck goes back in, and that's why the ref can call that.
I always thought if it was close, though, they're not likely to call it. Boy, they called a few questionable ones last night.
Last night they did.
13:02 in the second period. We're just underway in the second. Here's a shot off the faceoff by Jeff Clark, and went upstairs with it. I tell you what, Brandon Freuslin, as big as he is, he can go down and still cover most of the net. Obviously, Clark was trying to go upstairs with it, but boy, you got to hit the net.
Flint Powers is not. The last one they had the airline shot, and then this one they're having a difficult time getting it on, and they don't go in unless it's on the net. That's for sure.
Number 9, Chad Myers loses the draw to Clark. Clark is hit there by Cooley, and now we're going to get a penalty. It's an elbow call. It's going to be against Troy Cooley, and I didn't see the elbow. Oh, now we're going to get a second call. I think Cooley's going to get 2 penalties. Somebody skated up to say something to him, and Cooley took exception and hit him with the stick, and I'll be very surprised if he doesn't get 2 penalties.
Boy.
4 minutes total, 2 for high sticking, 2 for elbowing.
That is not a smart play on Troy Cooley's part. You take 1, it's bad enough. When you take 2 in a row, you're giving the other team a man advantage for 4 minutes. So Troy's a good player, and he's a good level-headed kid. And I'm kind of disappointed in him making those kind of a move out there like that.
Well, he hit Clark. Frankly, I didn't see the elbow. I suppose it doesn't matter what you call. It was more of a cross-check, I thought, than an elbow. That penalty was coming, and after the play had stopped, a couple of the power players skated over to him, and, well, Troy let him have it.
Yeah, well, he don't take guff, I guess, but it's going to hurt his team. Fortunate he's got the players that he does.
Well, let's see how well this Flint power play does. This is Kelsch. Kelsch in the corner now. He's got Clark with him, number 19. Now he'll get around Rubline. Brings it back into the corner. Out to the line is Marshall. Marshall sends it over to Penchula with a shot, and that goes up over the glass and out of play. And once again, I don't know if it was deflected or not, but the trouble is that Flint Powers are getting the shot off, but very few are hitting the net.
Either they're that strong or that puck's lighter than it should be. Maybe somebody should go out and check that. I don't know.
Check the puck.
Yeah, it's
got to be the puck. Can't be us, coach. Got to be the puck. 3:44 left in the 4 minutes of penalty time to Troy Cooley. Penalty killers for East Kentwood: Jimmy Jensen, Steve Knubel, Chad Morton along the blue line, and Dan Rubline. This is Linkowski at center ice. Tried to get it to Clark, and that was too far ahead of him. Whoa! Talk about a wild clearing pass. Rubline sent it into the top row. And hit a fan up there. And I think
she took it right in the leg.
Oh, yeah, she did, didn't she?
It didn't hurt. It didn't hurt. It didn't hurt.
No, she's shaking it off. She said, "Nah, I'm all right."
Let me tell you, that stings.
Oh, are you kidding me?
It stings.
Are you kidding me? Those people are so cold up there anyway. It's like getting hit by a rock.
Yeah, she'll have a bruise to show everybody tomorrow.
Well, they killed off 30 seconds of the 4-minute power play for Flint Powers. Jim Jensen. Now Rubline will knock it along the boards, and they are unable to keep it in. Jamie Marshall could not stop it at the blue line, so Penchula goes in behind his own goal. Mitch Pinchula, biggest kid on the ice tonight. At center ice, Jensen gives it a whack in there, and that was offside because it was touched by Steve Knubel while he was in the zone. 3:09 left in the penalty.
Momentarily there, Flint Powers did a good job of keeping the puck in on the power play, but they really didn't get anything going as far as a play.
Well, I get the feeling Kelsch, number 4, Sean Kelsch, is the quarterback on the power play. And you're right, he had control in the corner. They just weren't able to get much of, as far as somebody in front of the net. Their shots from the point, 2 shots went wide or high and failed to hit the net. That's what you want your point people to do, is just put it on the net.
But you got to keep it low, Jim. I mean, the kids don't realize how important it is to keep that puck low.
Rusty Ross doing some good forechecking in there, forcing Flint back into their own zone. This is Jeff Clark getting a good head of steam. Clark makes a move at the blue line, goes into the corner to Kelsch. Kelsch back to Clark behind the goal. Clark looking to set somebody up. They got to get somebody in front of that net, and they haven't done it yet. Now Kelsch wanders over to the slot. Back to the point. This is Lundberg with a shot. That's deflected by Linkowski, I believe, and that went wide. Clark back out to Lundberg with another shot, and it went just wide. Boy, I thought that was in. Tom Gibbons, clears it up the boards but can't get it out. This is Kelsch. Kelsch moving to between the face-off circles to Clark, back out to the point. Back to Clark in the corner. That hops over his stick, and Matt Johnson will have a chance. Johnson hit there by Linkowski behind the goal. They're holding it along the boards. I don't think they're going to get the whistle. Rusty Ross now in there along with Jeff Clark. Well, they're still kicking at it. Now it pops loose, and Tom Gibbons will come out with it. Gibbons with a chance to clear his zone, and finally does play it off the referee's skate. Flint got a break there. And Gibbons now will pick up a loose puck. And he'll fan on this clearing pass. Here comes Kelsch. Kelsch comes back out to the blue line and holds up. Now looking for Linkowski in front. Linkowski turns with it, sends it back out to Lundberg at the point. Lundberg shot, and that gets through, and Brandon Freusland had to make the save. Tom Gibbons plays it around one man into the corner. Rusty Ross will knock it down the ice.
That's probably the best opportunity the Flint Powers had right there. Got some this power play.
1:25 left in the penalty time. So far, Kentwood's fought it off. It was a 4-minute power play for Flint Powers, and so far they haven't been able to do much with it. Now we'll get a call. I don't know if that's offside. I guess it is. 10:06 left in the second period. 1:13 left in the penalty time to Troy Cooley, who got 2 minutes for elbowing and 2 minutes for high sticking. Still 2-0 lead for East Kentwood, though, as they have fought this penalty off fairly effectively. Darren Oliver in there now to take the face-off. Powers actually wins the draw, and Marshall will send it in. He takes a shot at Fridley. That could have been a high stick. Now Linkowski with a shot, and Brandon Freusland gloves it there. Chad Morton in the corner. Trying to play it around Clark. Now Rubline knocks it off the boards, and again they can't get it out. This is Clark. Clark back out to Marshall. He'll send it back into the corner to Kelsch. Kelsch bothered there by Rubline. Jeff Clark right there. Clark to Marshall. Marshall's going to wind up. He takes the shot. That hit a leg. And Chad Morton will finally have a chance to clear, and does. At center ice, Derek Fridley takes a run at Penchula. And a clearing pass by Rubline. Actually, a shot goes right to the goaltender. 28 seconds left in the penalty. Here comes Jeff Clark at center ice. Clark with time to set up one more rush. He's got Kelsch going to the net. Clark in the faceoff circle right out in front. Kelsch got a piece of it. And boy, I thought we had a whistle there. I guess not. Sounded like it.
Like the Kentwood players thought so too.
Good scoring chance there for Flint Powers. Now here's Penchula. Penchula working around behind the goal. He sweeps it out in front, and that hits somebody. Now Marshall had it deflected by him before he could get a shot off.
Marshall just hesitated a split second there. Boy, that's like happy birthday, you know, when you get that puck laid out in front like that.
I believe it was Steve Knubel that knocked it away from him, and the penalty time has expired. So a 4-minute power play. Flint Powers comes up empty-handed, as Kentwood does a decent job. Good job to fight it off.
They sure did.
And keep it a 2-0 hockey game.
And Flint Powers showed a little more organization than they have so far in the game. So maybe things are picking up a little bit here for both teams.
Well, as I said, Kelsch would be the quarterback in the power play. Kelsch and Clark seem to work pretty well together. Now you've got Africa. They're changing lines again. Africa normally would have played with Kelsch and Clark, but since they were on the power play, he's got Africa out with Al Smith and Matt Holloway. At At center ice, this is Urbanis. Urbanis takes a shot there from Smith, and Holloway jumps on the loose puck. Playing a little ragged at center ice. McGinnis now will backhand it in off the glass and behind the goal. Urbanis sticks out a leg to try to take a man down. This is Chad Myers at the line. He'll send it back into the corner. Holloway gives Troy Cooley a rough ride down there. Cooley having all kinds of trouble getting back up to his feet down there. This is Tom Gibbons behind his own goal. Gibbons falls. Gets back up, avoids one man, now takes a hit from Holloway. Gibbons having some trouble with it behind his own goal. Now he lost his stick. I think that was Gibbons' stick that he lost.
It was
McGinnis looking for Urbanis at center ice, too far in front for him. Lundberg has it there. McGinnis creates an opening. Here's Myers with a shot and a save by Abbott. Myers with a rebound, takes it in behind the goal. Can't get it out in front. Urbanis hits a man there, hits Al Smith. And here comes Flint Powers to center ice. And Matt Holloway will send it in. Tom Gibbons takes a hit from John Africa, but it comes out to center. And Urbanis jumps on a loose puck there. Urbanis lets a shot go wide. And here comes the big line for East Kentwood. Bravada, Knuble, and Jensen. This is Bravada over the line. Here onside, a 3-on-1. Here it comes. Bravada right out in front of Jensen, and he scores. Jimmy Jensen from Jason Bravada. Jensen, all he had to do was put his stick on it and got it into the corner for his second goal of the game and his 29th goal of the season by Jim Jensen. It's a 3-0 hockey game. Let's look at it again.
This is a short developing 3-on-1. I mean, the play actually usually a 3-on-1 develops out. This play developed on halfway between the blue line and the goal. Jensen did a good job staying on his point, or on his post, and just kind of slipped the puck in. And really, like you said, Tim, did very little other than just lay the stick on the puck to get that thing into the net.
Well, Bravada got it to him. Pick up the time of the goal.
That's a good play. That's a real good play.
7:33, the time of Jensen's second goal of the game. Bravada gets the only assist. And it's 3-0 East Kentwood here with 7 minutes left in the second period. There's a shot by Knuble that was handled by Abbott. And here comes Jeff Clark. Jeff Clark at the line. He's got Kelsch with him. Hit there by Chad Morton. Good play by Chad Morton. Jimmy Jensen loses it in the corner. Rubline tries to play his man. And here comes Knuble. Knuble off the boards. He gets it to Jensen. Oh, and it was just got too far in front of him. Otherwise, Jensen would have had a chance. Jeff Clark now. Clark tries to make a move on Rubline. He plays it well. Clark sends it in behind the goal. Here's Chad Morton. Plays it up the boards to Knuble. Knuble can't get it out. Here's a shot from the point by Marshall. That was deflected by Jensen. Jensen now has a break. He's got a man with him. It's Bravada. Tries to get the pass over to him, and it was a shot. The goaltender made the save. Boy, if that gets over to Bravada, it's 4-0 because he's standing all alone over there. Bravada having some words with number 6, Jamie Marshall. But Jimmy Jensen broke in after blocking a shot at the far blue line, at his own blue line. He carried it in. He had Bravada on the other side. He just never got it to him.
Now the goaltender didn't. He basically played defenseman there and broke that play up, and that was a defenseman's job to handle that one.
6:25 left in the second period, and we've got 2 minutes up for Flint Powers on the penalty time. I'm frankly not sure who is getting the penalty. Jamie Marshall, I guess. 2 minutes for interference, and it was Marshall who got tangled with Bravada right after that play. So East Kentwood goes on the power play. And that quickly, Flint Powers clears the zone. We'll set up the power play for you for East Kentwood. Up front, as you'd expect it would be. Well, Jensen and Bravada are now both off. We've got Matt Johnson out there with Chad Morton. We've got Tom Gibbons. Morton skates by it, and here comes a shot by Kelsch. Kelsch with a shot up high, handled by Freusel. Good save by Brandon Freusel. Here's McGinnis to Fridley. Derek Fridley hit the blue line. He's poke checked there, and Kelsch will knock it back out to center ice. Rink wide pass to McGinnis. McGinnis on the right side. He'll send it along the boards and behind the goal, and Dave Lundberg will have a chance to clear. Morton keeps it in. Morton sends it back into Fridley. Fridley's pass in front never got through. He was looking for McGinnis. And 1 minute left now in the penalty time. Kentwood now has their Knuble on the ice along with Rusty Ross. This is Knuble over the line.
Here comes Jensen. Okay.
Now Knuble goes to the goal and is hit there. Nice play by Gephardt to keep him from getting much of a shot off. 50 seconds left in the penalty time for East Kentwood. This, I believe this is their first power play of the evening. Jimmy Jensen now with a head of steam along the left side. Jensen makes one move from the slot, tries to set up Knubel too far in front. Knubel's pass in front, found no one in the slot, and here's Dan Rublein. He'll wind up with a shot. Saved by the goaltender, Abbott, and the rebound. Lundberg had been pulled down, no call made. Jeff Clark deep in his own territory. Clark plays it along the boards. Rublein will have it. 22 seconds left in the penalty. Bodies flying in front of the net. Good pass over to Bravada. He'll wind up with a shot up high. Boy, that hit somebody up high. I think it hit Rusty Ross.
That puck was laying on net. If he got it down, he might have had that puck on net.
It jumped on Bravada, and that's why it went so high. Otherwise, as you say, you're trying to keep that shot low, looking for a deflection. 2 seconds left. That's pretty well going to kill the penalty time. East Kentwood got a couple of good chances at the end there. Pass in front to Ross went through him. Jensen keeps it in. Jensen intercept the pass. And now Lundberg sends it back out to center ice. That comes in offside, and we'll get the stoppage of play. And again,
now
they call that intentional.
Now that one I don't agree with. That puck, you know, the play developed as such that was an offside, and calling that intentional, I really don't agree with that.
Well, as I explained to you last night, this same two referee pair, these two officials called that a half dozen times in the game last night, two of which I agreed with. The other four I thought were poor calls.
You know, for those of you who aren't familiar with an intentional offside, because we mentioned before, is intentionally throwing the puck in, knowing your players are in that zone. And in that case, he may have thrown intentionally, but the players all got caught. It was more of a than trying to deliberate, you know, face-off.
Shot by Marshall is deflected and blocked by McGinnis. McGinnis now gets a loose puck. He's in there with Herbanis. McGinnis in the corner looking to pass there. Well, ridden off the puck by Mitch Panchula, and Big Panchula will come out with it.
He pretty much goes where he wants to go, doesn't he?
Yes, he does. Matt Holloway had it momentarily. Now McGinnis tries to play it by one man, and it comes to Linkowski. Linkowski's hit there at the line. Panchula at center ice with Al Smith. Neither team really doing much with it here at center ice now. Holloway sends it to Linkowski. Linkowski pulls up in the zone, plays it off the boards in behind Brandon Croisland. 3:30 left in the second period. Only one goal scored here in the second. That was East Kentwood's Jimmy Jensen. Cooley clears the zone, and it'll be Mitch Panchula at his own blue line. Panchula's got Holloway on the left side. Pass too far in front for him. Holloway goes into the corner with it. In behind the goal, he's bothered there by Chad Myers. And Herbanis will knock it down the ice. That just missed the goal, so we'll get the icing call. That's not a bad play. Kentwood looked a little mixed up there.
Well, they were trying to tire getting the line off. That line with Myers and McGinnis and Herbanis has played quite a bit today and have done a pretty good job of being aggressive and taking the play to the other team. But once you're out there, you got to get them off if you want to make anything happen, because you can't do anything with tired legs.
Face-off will be to the left of Brandon Florsland. It'll be Jim Jensen, Jason Bravada, and Steve Knubel. The defensive pair, Matt Johnson and Tom Gibbons.
We talked earlier, Tim, about how, you know, both teams generally do go with a two-line lineup, but Ron Baum has really spread it out amongst three lines today.
And the 3-0 score has enabled him to do that, frankly. Steve Knubel at center ice has got Jensen on the move. He gives it to Jensen at the line. Knubel there after it was knocked away from Jensen. Knubel still has it and now loses it to Kelch. Sean Kelch will come the other way. He's got Sean Africa with him at the line. Africa tips it in. Matt Johnson playing it there. Kelch comes out of the corner with it. Bravada tries to take out a man. Power still has control behind the goal. This is Sean Africa, number 10. Kelch gets it out to Clark, and Clark can't handle it. He tried to glove it there. Here comes Jim Jensen. Jensen tries to split the defense, actually goes around and is hog-tied by Clark. Let's see if they get a penalty. No, nothing called. Clark brought him down. And now we get a pile-up of players in the corner. Knubel involved there. And Clark took exception to Steve Knubel getting involved. And I don't believe we'll see penalties come out of this.
Nah, it's nothing that hasn't happened already, that's for sure.
Most of the afternoon. Well, this has been I don't know, I get the feeling it's been a slower period than the first period was.
Really, the only quick time, you know, that really the play's moved along at any pace has really been the first 5-6 minutes of the first period, where Kentwood took that 2-0 lead. They really moved it along well, but
did that have a demoralizing effect, you think, on the power players to come in here with their expectations high and in the first 3 minutes go down 2-0?
Well, I'm sure it has, and I think that's forced them to be a little more physical and try to control the play.
Back in his own zone is Rublein. He plays it up the boards to center ice. puck is standing there right on the blue line. And Clark hit somebody, hit Rusty Ross, and now we're going to get a whistle. I don't know. Yep, it's going to be an interference call, actually a charging call, I believe, to Jeff Clark.
Rusty Ross is laughing about that one because I wouldn't have called that a charge. He just took a good hit on him, but he made it look good.
Well, I don't know. What is the rule? If you take
2 or 3 strides.
2, 3, 4 strides and hit the guy, you're going to get the charge.
You got to let it glide in there. You got to have a little bit of glide before you hit that player.
Well, Clark's been all over the ice. Again, not only is he one of the leading goal scorers, but he creates things, he throws his body around, and he did there and got caught. So with 2:04 left in the second period, Kentwood will go on the power play again. And let's see what they can do with this, because now they have their number 1 line on.
Well, they got the addition of Ross, and they got Bravada playing the point.
This is Ross bringing it in over the line to Jensen with a shot and a save by Abbott. Nice save by Matt Abbott. And Flint Powers will come out with it. This is Al Smith, number 23. Al Smith avoids one man, takes a hit actually from Ross, and Jason Bravada back after it. Bravada in the circle. Plays it up to Rusty Ross. Are they going to give Rusty Ross a penalty for that? For hitting the glass with the stick? How can that be a penalty?
Well, if you want to call that unsportsmanlike conduct. But I'm not sure what he gave it to him for.
Boy, that's a call that Ron Bohn's not going to be too pleased with. Unsportsmanlike conduct.
That's what I got him.
In a 10-minute misconduct, he gets 2 and 10.
I got to tell you, I used to coach Rusty Ross. He's a good kid, but you can't, you know, I don't know. I'm sure that's nothing that I haven't seen already here today, or you see generally. And once in a while, the referee just gets full of it, and you got to give it to somebody. And it was unfortunate that Rusty was there at the wrong time.
I'm trying to pay attention to see some reaction from Ron Bohm, and he is not offering much in the way of a reaction.
Kind of the Jerry Burns look, isn't it?
Rusty Ross, I didn't really see if he was swinging at a player. It didn't appear to. He was frustrated, and it looked like he swung his stick around to hit the glass in frustration. He gets the 2 minutes for that, and then apparently for arguing the call, he gets the additional 10.
That was, boy, the referee, I don't know.
Well, they're playing 4 men aside. Jensen with a shot from the blue line, deflected into the corner. Bravada can't keep it in. Matt Johnson had trouble with it. Now here's Kelsch. Kelsch all alone on 3 players. He gets a shot off. Brandon Preuslin handles that. Here's Kelsch in front again. They're playing 4 men aside. Jim Jensen hits the line. Boy, was that onside? Apparently just barely. He goes in with Bravada. Bravada throws an elbow into Linkowski and gets away with it. And here comes Flint Powers again. Sean Kelsch is knocked to his feet or knocked to his haunches at center ice. Final minute to go here in the second period. 3-0 East Kentwood. Jim Jensen along the far board. Jensen into the corner looking to set up somebody in front of Bravada. The pass went right through. The goaltender had to make the stop.
Kentwood's got to put this is a great time here to put another nail in the board here against Flint Powers.
And Johnson will wind up with a shot and a save by Abbott. Clearing pass, an attempt by Marshall, and he fanned on that. Now Bravada keeps it in. Bravada makes a nice play with the glove, drops it to the ice, and is hit there by Mitch Penchula. And if Mitch Penchula hits you, you go down.
Yeah. Reminds me of a guy that used to call Squavu when I was playing.
At center ice now, Jason Bravada will turn with it and head the other way with Jim Jensen. 3 players back for Flint. Now 4 as Sean Africa throws his body into Jim Jensen. Bravada picks up the loose puck, goes to the corner, looking for Jensen, but Jensen was slow to get back to his feet. And now we have some players falling into the corner. A couple of hits there on Jamie Marshall. And Bravada's got him tied up. I can't see who the other Kentwood player is down there. It was Chad Morton.
Well, if you're going to do it, you might as well do it when the clock's not running and you don't got to worry about sitting for it.
I don't know that penalties will be called out of this. We'll have to wait and see. In any case, the second period is over. It is 3-0 East Kentwood. And I believe that we may see a penalty or 2 come out of this. Yeah, Bravada is arguing with the referee, so whether it'll be Bravada or Chad Morton, we'll have to wait and see.
I think they're giving 2 to Bravada.
And it's going to be a roughing call. And that'll come right at the end of the period.
Did they give one to Flint too there, Tim? I don't know.
What's that?
Did they give one to Flint also? I'm not...
Well, I didn't think so. We'll sort it all out. Let's take a break. We'll come back and sort things out and wrap up, tell you about that second period, and set up the third. It's 3-0 after 2. East Kentwood with the lead over Flint Powers. Back with more high school hockey in just a minute on TV 23. 3-0 lead for East Kentwood. 2 early goals in the first 3 minutes of the hockey game. They scored once in the second period. Jimmy Jensen has 2 of the 3 Kentwood goals.
he's going to kick 19 out of the circle, sure enough. This is a very important face-off to win when you're down, 4 men to 3 for Jimmy Jensen to get this puck.
Kelch loses the draw. Jensen wins it, and they can't get it out. Here's the shot from Lundberg, and Bravado will hold on to it. Now he takes a shot at Kelch as he goes through the crease. See what we get here. Because it was actually Bravado that took the shot at the Flint player, but the Flint player went through the crease. I don't think we're going to get a call here, but the referee is talking to the Flint player, which surprises me.
Well, that's just a no-no. You don't touch the goaltender, and there never was really, there was no reason for him to do that. It was an undisciplined play.
Well, nothing will come out of it.
Kentwood thinks there should be, and I kind of agree with him. But
5 seconds left in the Ross penalty. Face off to the left of Brandon Kreuzler. Clark in there for the face-off. Jensen wins the draw, and Jensen controls. His pass, he tried to clear it actually, and it was knocked down. Here's Jeff Clark again at the line. Clark hog-tied there by Troy Cooley, a good play. They send it in offside. That's a delayed offside. Actually, they clear the zone. And this is Dan Rubline. Rubline makes a move. Now comes to center ice. Rubline went wide to Steve Kadubel. Steve Kadubel pulls up there and is in fact knocked to the ice. Jimmy Jensen plays it there. Jensen had it poked away momentarily. Now gets around Clark. Makes another move, but the Flint players converge on him and take it away. Clark knocked to the ice by Steve Kadubel. Nothing called. That's surprising. Here comes Rubline. Rubline's pass for Kadubel's too far in front of him. And Rubline will have to retrieve back and go back after it. A delayed offside. Now they clear the zone. Off the boards, Rubline. That'll be intercepted. No, it went right through Gebhardt. Gebhardt trying to pinch in there. Just forgot the puck. Chad Morton takes a shot from Sean Africa. Here's Smith in there, and he knocked Jim Jensen to the ice. Right wide pass to Kadubel. Kadubel handles the pass. Now he'll pull up in that face-off circle, and Lundberg will come out with it. Dave Lundberg for the Chargers hits the blue line. He's all alone. Now he'll pull up, try to create. He's got Smith with him. That pass went through him into the corner. Matt Holloway in behind the goal. Holloway with Kadubel and Matt Johnson. Matt Johnson takes the man out, and Kadubel will clear the zone. Derek Fridley for East Kentwood back after that. Let's see if Oliver kept it in. He did. Oliver with a nice play. Here's a shot from Fridley in the save. Oliver fans on the shot. Bravado tries to jump on the loose puck and can't get there. Oliver had a good chance. Actually, Fridley got a good shot off. Matt Johnson now to center ice looking for Bravado, and that was behind him. 12:40 left in the third period. 3-0 East Kentwood. And Brent, as you said, Flint's got to have an early goal to get back in this one. And so far, it's been Kentwood here in the third period.
12 minutes is not a lot of time with that, the way things are going for Flip Powers offensively.
Linkowski, rink wide pass to Holloway. Holloway pulls up at the line. He'll take a shot from Fridley. Oh, Fridley drilled it. No penalty called. Good shot by Fridley. Oh, and now Smith comes in and takes a shot at Fridley. Fridley retaliated, and it might be the retaliation that gets the penalty.
I don't know what they're going to do there now. Is Smith the one there that hit Fridley?
I don't think they're going to call anything.
Kind of surprising. But I thought they'd get Smith. He got caught for that one.
Well, Fridley laid the original hit, and it was a clean hit. And then Smith took exception to it and took a shot at Fridley. Nothing really came of it, except they'll have a couple of more bruises tomorrow morning. Yeah. Al Smith will take the draw against Chad Myers. Myers actually wins the draw. Here's Chad Bott. We have not seen a lot of Chad Bott today. Here's his shot up high, glove there by Abbott. He'll hang on to it and get the stoppage in play. 12:07 left in the third period. And time's running out for Flint Powers if they hope to get back into this one.
They really have had no offensive flurry or anything. It's really been goal, that would produce a goal. Everything's been long shots on Brandon Freusland, and Brandon is a good goaltender. You're going to have to beat him. You're going to have to beat him with a tough shot.
I mentioned the fact that they're playing the second game in less than 24 hours. I just wonder if that has anything to do with their lack of offense in the second game here. Herbanis sends it out in front. Poke checked away from McGinnis. Otherwise, McGinnis would have been right on the doorstep.
I don't know, Tim, now that you mention that, because they do. Both teams seem to be a little bit flat here. We've got,
well, and that first period of that second game last night that Flint Powers was involved in with Portage Northern, It was a very close 1-0 hockey game in the first period. In the second period, Flint really turned it on offensively, scored 4 times in the second period, and looked real impressive. And that led one to think that today's game would be a lot closer than it has turned out to be. So we've not seen that kind of offense from Flint so far today. I just wonder if maybe that game last night took its toll. As I said, they were here until well after 10:30 last night.
More so for Flint than Kentwood is.
For sure. This is Lundberg behind the goal. He'll play it up the boards to Sean Africa. Africa will take a hit there from Kentwood. At center ice, Kels loses his stick. Gibbons to Bravada at center ice. Bravada having a little trouble controlling there, and Jeff Clark jumps in.
Clark is a good skater. Good. Look at that head position. Carries the puck up, upright. Looks good.
Rubline back after it in his own zone. Up to Knuble. Knuble knocks it out of the zone. And they'll send it in an intentional offside. That one I agree with. And it'll go all the way down into the Flint Powers territory.
We have seen a lot more intentional offsides than I ever recall seeing in a hockey game.
I don't know if it's just because we were talking about it, but I'm looking at some of these guys. These guys look tired to me.
Yeah, they do. Yeah, they do. And like you say, playing until 11 o'clock and then putting this on.
It's still a nice opportunity, not only for East Kentwood to bring 3 good teams into their own building, but for the other teams that don't get a chance to play good competition through their regular season. Jimmy Jensen with a chance, and his shot made the save by Abbott. Abbott with another save off Bravada. Jensen had a shot at his third and goal, the hat trick, and Abbott stayed with him. This is Knuble in the corner. Knuble to Jensen. Jensen moves into the slot, had it knocked away. Root line to Gibbons, and Gibbons didn't expect that pass. And here comes Jeff Clark. Jeff Clark tries to make a move around one defenseman, takes a hit there from Jensen. And Gibbons has it. Ooh, Jensen and Clark colliding. Well, you heard that from way up here.
Kentwood's defense is doing a great job of taking the play away from Flint Powers as they cross the blue line. They're not allowing them to really surmount any type of offense.
Jason Bravada now hits the blue line, makes a move around one man. He's going to have a chance with a shot and a save. A rebound is scored. Is that Steve Knuble? I believe it is. That jumped in on a loose puck, and Knuble will get his second goal of the game. We'll take another look at it. Brett, I don't want to call this a garbage goal, but this is what they call him. He was in the right place at the right time.
Well, you got to be. That's the position to play. You know, somebody's got to go to the net, and Knuble did that. He showed up where he should be, and bang, pops it in.
That is not to say it's a cheap goal by any stretch for Steve Knuble. He was there. He got the shot on. Bravada made the original shot, or got the original shot off. And again, 4 goals given up by Glenn Abbott. Abbott hasn't played poorly today.
He's played very well. 21 shots in the first period, and everything since then. He's done very well.
Onside is Fridley with Darren Oliver. And Floyd is out there now. Now we're going to get a penalty to Flint Powers. And it'll be against, is it number 6, Jamie Marshall? Let's see who goes off.
So it looks like they get Marshall.
And he'll
another
get a
rough. A lot of roughing penalties, and Flint Powers cannot afford to take a roughing penalty when you're down by 4 goals. Not if they want to even be involved in this hockey game.
I think you've got to attribute that to frustration at this point. Down 4-0 with 10 minutes left in the game. And here come the guns for East Kentwood. Boy, this has got to be disconcerting for an opposing coach to see. A penalty against your own club. Here comes the East Kentwood power play, and certainly 2 of the best hockey players, 2 of the best offensive threats in the state, Jensen and Bravada. Knuble right there with 2 goals tonight. Also out there is Cooley and Dan Rubline. This is Knuble. Knuble fakes a shot and leaves it there for Jensen in the corner. Jensen will play it out to Bravada. Bravada winds up with a shot and a save. Here's the rebound by Knuble, and he scores. Steve Knuble on the rebound. He gets the hat-trick goal as East Kentwood jumps in front 5-0. And Brent, again, Steve Knuble's in the right place at the right time.
That's all he's got to do. It doesn't matter if he carries it in, and as long as he's where he should be, he's going to get the goal, and that's what he's done.
Take a look at it again. From the corner, Jensen sent it out to Bravada, and Bravada takes the shot. We don't see Bravada winding up here, but we'll see the first save.
And I'll tell you another thing there. Cooley tied up number 12 from Flint Powers, not allowing him to really watch the other man, and that made that play happen.
To free Steve Knuble up, maybe, on the doorstep. And Knuble gets his 3rd goal of the game.
Now Flint just got to try to save face and put a puck in the net.
Cooley and Bravada get the assist on Knubel's third goal of the game. He came into today's action with 15 goals. So he's got 19 now.
Kentwood still coming after.
18 now. My math's not very good. And now we'll get a stoppage of play and a little face-off to the right of Matt Abbott. 9:30 left in the hockey game. 5-0 East Kentwood in complete control of this one. Again, the assist, we didn't pick up at the time of the goal, but Cooley and Bravada get the assists on Steve Knubel's third goal of the game.
Interesting how they had Troy Cooley, defenseman, playing wing on that power play, allowing Bravada to take that point.
Well, Cooley with the big body can kind of, as you say, bog things up in front of the goal and create problems for the team short-handed. Cooley will knock it in. That was looked offside, but they wave it off. Fridley now. Fridley out in front looking for Oliver. A second attempt to get it to Oliver. Never did get to him. And it finally comes to the goaltender, and he'll hang on for a stoppage. Derek Fridley in there trying to set up Darren Oliver. We have now seen some of the, now we're getting Nathan Baum, Ryan Anderson, Scott Floyd with the score that allows Ron Baum to get some of the other guys in that haven't seen a lot of ice time. And so some of these guys will get, well, there's 9 minutes left in the hockey game. They'll get some decent ice time now.
That's nice. I mean, that's a good opportunity for players to get your experience.
Boy, big Mitch Penchula just stepped into Scott Floyd and drilled him. Now Floyd takes another hit.
So welcome to the big leagues.
Yeah. I would not, if I'm going to get hit by anybody out there, it's not going to be Mitch Penchula, I guarantee you. That kid is huge. Here's Baum. Baum on a loose puck. He scores with Nathan Baum. Oh, he stepped in, grabbed a loose puck, and just went in unchallenged and let the shot go and beat Matt Abbott on the short side.
I'm happy. That's nice. That's a nice thing for Nathan Baum to come right into the hockey game and to put the puck into that, I tell you.
Go ahead. Let's see it again. Baum will jump on a loose puck, and I think he beats him on the short side. Right?
He did. He knocked him right up over the top of the pad. Takes a look, flips him, beats him, Abbott right over the top of the deflector, and bingo, it's 6-0.
Now Nathan Baum.
Kentwood opening it up here.
Baum from Floyd, and Baum's fourth goal of the year. That makes it 6-0, and this one's getting a little out of hand. I'm sure to the surprise of Flint Powers. Baum's going to take a hit from Sean Africa. Clean hit, but well, you saw that coming. Mitch Penchula. Now the hitting's going to pick up, I suspect, as Flint Powers is going to, I don't know, send a message to the team that way?
I don't think so. I think Flint Powers, they want to send a message to Kentwood. They should put the puck in the net.
Well, Flint Powers obviously hasn't been able to do anything offensively, so I guess they're going to try their luck on just if they can win the battle of hits.
Physically punishing.
Yeah. Chad Myers now out there with Urbanis and McGinnis. This is Dan Rubline deep in his own zone. 8:15 left in the hockey game. At center ice, Urbanis gets a good head to steam and nearly beats Lundberg to the puck. This is Linkowski, number 11. Linkowski finally does get it out. Tom Gibbons is going to drive it right back in. Looking for McGinnis at the blue line. Chad Morton jumps in there, plays it off the boards and avoids a hit. But Gebhardt will now come out to center ice with it. McGinnis tried to line him up. Urbanis sends it in toward the goal, and Abbott deflects that in behind the goal. Chad Myers with a nice move in the corner. Myers' centering pass was intercepted by Smith, and he'll play at the center ice. 7.5 minutes now left in the third period. 6-0, East Kentwood with the lead. And East Kentwood with 3 goals here in the third period.
Trying to look and see if they're waving a white flag over on the Powers bench because it doesn't really seem that the team is in the game anymore.
Jensen pulls it right out in front. Here's Knubel. Knubel can't tee it up. Finally does get a shot off. Bravada with a backhand. That was deflected into the corner. Jensen plays it back to Cooley at the point. Cooley winds up with a shot. That's deflected and blocked there by Smith. And Bravada has it again. Bravada tries to get it to Jensen in front. And that was knocked away from him. Boy, Powers nearly got caught with too many men on the ice because as the player was going off, it hit him. Here's Bravada. Bravada leaves it, drop pass for Jensen. Jensen goes to the corner, knocked to the ice. He's back up with it. Now centering pass. And they will get a penalty call. Whether it was pulling Jimmy Jensen down in the corner, I'm not sure. I think it's going to be on number 4, Sean Kelch.
You know, Tim, we were making that point between the second and third period about how these players get those sticks up in the air, and I think what we're seeing here is a classic example of that, you know. Rather than taking a good body check, which should be low in the waist area, you take the man in the boards, you get out of it right away so you continue the play. They're coming up high on everything, and that really doesn't accomplish anything as far as the game goes.
Well, again, I come back to the term frustration on Flint Power's point. They weren't doing that early in the game when they were in the hockey game, and now that it's 6-0, we're seeing a lot more of it.
Yeah, that's for sure.
Fridley makes a move along the boards, now pulls out in front, but is tied out there by Marshall. And Jeff Clark will come out with it. Jeff Clark at center ice. He's got Sean Africa. Africa backhands it in after taking a hit from Derek Fridley. And Matt Johnson. Lead pass to Fridley. That was off the boards and too far in front of him.
Taylor's got to think about preserving that shutout now.
Brandon Freusland with 7 shutouts coming into the action today after recording his 7th last night. And yeah, you'd like to believe, you know, he'd like to have his 8th here today. Play along the side of the goal and covered up by Smith. You know, that's the one thing, Brett, that has gone so unnoticed about this East Kentwood team, and Ron Baum pointed it out to me before the hockey game. In the last 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 games, they've given up a grand total of 5 goals.
That is really incredible. I mean, they're pounding teams, and I mean, and even good teams like we've got here. You know, you got Flint Powers. I mean, the teams that they've been beating in this tournament are not easy games by any means.
Chad Morton, rink wide pass looking for Gibbons on the other side. Gibbons goes in behind the goal. Gibbons being bothered there by Jamie Marshall. Now loses the battle because Derek Fridley will come out with the puck. Centering pass. Matt Johnson now has it. Johnson plays it into the corner, sweeps it in behind the goal. This is McGinnis in after it. McGinnis sends it back to Johnson. Johnson right out in front, and Gibbons couldn't get his stick on it. Jamie Marshall takes a good shot at Gibbons. Jamie Marshall's going at it with Big Tom Gibbons. What a size mismatch. Shot by Fridley, and a save by Evan. And Tom Gibbons doing a good job throwing his body around, and right there hit his own man.
Flint Powers is defensively tired right now. They're just, why take the extra effort to take the man out?
And your puck is knocked off over the boards, and that's why we get the whistle.
When you spend as much time as Flint Powers has in your own end, it gets pretty difficult to stay motivated.
Chad Morton and Jeff Clark doing battle down there. Morton went by and gave Clark a whack, and Clark hit him back. I believe we are going to get penalties called. Myers.
And Rusty Ross, who's had a lengthy stay in the backs, has got to be coming out of there shortly, I would think.
Well, I thought he announced Myers a penalty. Let's see if anyone goes over. Frankly, I didn't see that. Sean Africa's going in for Flint.
That's all.
And I believe that's all. Okay. Evidently, he'll go in, I guess, for slashing. To be honest with you, I didn't see it.
I didn't either.
But East Kentwood now playing 5-3. Because still 11 seconds left in the call to Kelch. This is Rubline to Troy Cooley. 2 seconds left in the first penalty. That has now expired, so it's now 5-4 East Kentwood in terms of manpower. And Kentwood not really setting anything up yet on this power play. 1 minute and a half left in the penalty. And here comes Nathan Baum. And Baum, right side pass to Ryan Anderson. Tries to get it back to Baum in front. He was held up there. Gebhardt will play it off the boards and down the ice. 1:10 left in the penalty, and just 4:08 now left in the period. This is Troy Cooley. Cooley's poke check there by Sean Kelch. Rubline's going to have to play it. He takes the hit there. And Kentwood having a little difficulty. Well, you wouldn't know they had the man advantage. Here comes Jim Jensen. Jensen will try to create. He's got Knuble with him. Knuble cutting to the net. Jensen now goes in behind the goal. Pulls up. Tries to send it out in front. And Sean Kelch is there. He gives it away. Bravada will wind up. And he fanned on that. And I believe he broke a stick. Knuble sends it back out to Morton as Bravada goes for a stick change. And here comes would have been a breakaway to Sean Kelch. Bravada got back into the play. And Kelch never did handle the pass anyway.
That's a difficult pass to try to catch one from behind.
Here's Jim Jensen. Jensen makes a move, goes into the corner. He's got Knuble sitting in front. Knuble looking for his 4th goal of the game.
Nobody's really laying a hand on Knuble either. Allowing him to just kind of stand there. And
shot by Gibbons. Now Gibbons right out in front. A second shot. And boy, a good save by the goaltender. Gibbons right on the doorstep had, I beg your pardon, it was Darren Oliver. Number 11, Darren Oliver had 2 and 3 chances to bang that one home. And the goaltender able to cover up. 3:09 left in the hockey game. 8 seconds in the penalty to Sean Africa. And a 6-0 lead for East Kentwood. Bravada back on with Knuble and Jensen. Morton and Darren Oliver now.
Baum is doing a lot of rotating now with different players and different combinations, it appears to be.
Well, and with a 6-0 score, it's kind of nice to be able to give some of the other guys some power play time, too.
Exactly. What a great opportunity for your players to learn the different strategies that are involved in a power play.
If I feel sorry for anybody today, it's Matt Abbott, because he's not played a poor game in goal. He has not had a great deal of help.
It's the life of a goaltender, Tim.
I know it so well. Here's Linkowski. Linkowski had it knocked away from him by Chad Morton, and Bravada will play it out to Jensen. This is Oliver. Oliver leaves it for Jensen at the line. Jensen goes wide around Penchula, now tries to center it to Knuble. That hit the side of the net. Knuble plays it back out to Morton. Morton with the shot, looking for a deflection, I think, and that went wide. Bravada now on the other point. Bravada plays it into the corner to Jensen. Jensen makes a move around one man, knocked to the ice. Darren Oliver in after it, behind the goal. Centering pass, no one in the slot. Chad Morton now steps in. He'll send it back toward the goal. Oliver can't get his stick on it. And Sean Africa, whose penalty has expired. Now here's Clark. Clark with a move. And Bravada got back and took him down. Actually, I thought it was a pretty decent play by Jason Bravada. He got back in front of him, but he's going to get the penalty.
Well, when you have an opportunity to score a goal and it's taken away from you like that, generally you're going to have a penalty.
Well, maybe we can see it again. I'd like to know, look at the play and what is Bravada called for. He got his body in front of the man.
He's got to be calling that a trip, I would imagine.
But he actually never took the guy down with the stick.
No, but that's a trip. I mean,
okay, all right.
You take the guy's feet from underneath him. Do it with your stick, you do it with your head, whatever you want to use.
I'm trying to create a debate. I guess there isn't one to be had.
No. Not as far as what you think of a technical trip by taking your stick, sticking it in the player's skates, and yanking him out. No, but he had a scoring opportunity, and it was taken from him.
I'll say Bravada did this. He took away a great scoring chance.
Yes, he did.
And he got back a good hustle on his part.
It's a good penalty. I mean, it really is, if there's such a thing.
Derek Fridley now backhands it outside. And this is Mitch Penchula. Penchula just sends it back in. Troy Cooley will clear the zone, send it the length of the ice. 2 minutes left in the period. 2 minutes left in the hockey game. 6-0 East Kentwood. And Flint Power is on the power play for another minute and a half. They're just going to see if they can't get on the scoreboard and spoil Brandon Freusland's shutout. Mitch Penchula with a shot, and that goes high. Penchula is knocked down by Rusty Ross. And Big Penchula is finally hit to the ice. The Kentwood players love it.
And I think Rusty Ross loved that, too.
Yeah, Rusty gave a little pump of the hand. Now Al Smith takes a run at Rusty Ross. And they're all taking runs at Rusty Ross now. Jeff Clark got in it. Ross now. This is Penchula at center ice. Penchula will throw it in. Matt Johnson does a good job to glove it there and send it back out. 58 seconds left in the power play.
I think Rusty burned out some energy. He's been sitting in the box for such a long time.
A minute 10 left in the period, and now we're going to get a penalty called from behind the play. And I believe it's going to be 23 Al Smith. See if they send them both off. I believe it's just going to be Al Smith, 23, and that's, again, a retaliation. Herbanis hit his man deep behind the goal, and evidently Al Smith took advantage of that, or took exception to that. It's obviously academic at this point. It's 6-0. There's a minute 9 left in the hockey game. East Kentwood will come out. I guess the only question now is, will they come out of this tournament without giving up a goal? After a 7-0 shutout win in the first game Friday, they've got a 6-0 lead here in the second game. That'd be kind of something to have 3 good teams come in here, and Kentwood comes away with 2 shutout victories.
Yeah, that is quite impressive. And Flint Powers, I mean, when you're seeing Kentwood display what they are right here, and there's a certain bit of cockiness, I would say, to Kentwood's play right now. And
I think deservedly so.
Yeah, I agree. But in Flint Power's shoes, I mean, that makes you just twice as angry, and you've got to put that much more determination in what you're doing, and I think Kentwood's going to get a penalty here.
A minute left, another penalty coming to Kentwood.
And that might be Herbanis for a trip.
And it is, let's see. Well, Myers is arguing the call. I'm not sure who they're going to send off. This is Rubline heading over to the box. And I guess it's going to be Dan Rubline, is it?
Must be.
Yeah, Rubline's going in. So that will, let's see, if Flint Powers, I think Flint Powers is going to call a timeout here. When Flint Powers players are going over to the bench, we'll get a timeout call here, and there's no secret to what they're trying to do. They'd like to save a little face here and not go home without anything on the scoreboard in terms of goals scored. Brandon Kreuzland, I guess the one on the spot here. 50 seconds to go for his 8th shutout of the season. And boy, you just can't say enough about this defensive effort of the last several weeks for East Kentwood.
The defensemen do a good job of shutting down the plays and comes into the zone. And that's what it's about defensively. You know, when that player comes over the blue line, you got to make him move. And, you know, some Flint Powers hanging onto the puck and not making anything happen.
Let me go over the last 8 weeks or 8 games for East Kentwood. Now, we told you about the game against Alpena, one of the top-ranked teams in the state. They beat them 3-2. And then after that, they beat Lakeland 11-2. They shut out Forest Hills 2-0. They shut out Kennewick Hills 23-0. They beat Midland Dow 6-1. Shut out Muskegon Mona Shores 13-0. Beat Midland 10-0. Forest Hills again 10-2, and Granville 19-0. Now, again, last night they shut out Bloomfield Hills Andover. The final score was 7-0. So this would be Brandon Freusland's 8th shutout of the year, and again, 5 goals given up in the last 8 games. That is absolutely incredible.
It is phenomenal, phenomenal. You got to begin to feel like an iron curtain sitting back there when you're in the net.
Comes out to Petchula. Petchula with the shot, actually looking for a deflection from Jeff Clark. Jeff Clark in the corner, sends it back out to the line. Let's see if Kentwood can bring it out. Yes. Fridley able to muscle it out. 33 seconds left in the game. And here comes Mitch Petchula. Petchula with a head of steam at center ice. He'll take the shot. Brandon has a little trouble with it there. Juggles it momentarily, but then gloves it. And he'll get a stoppage of play. Now again, East Kentwood has it deep in their own territory. The faceoff will be to the left of Brandon Freusland with 21 seconds left in the hockey game.
We're trying to figure out here if Flint Powers might want to pull the goaltender or not. Sometimes they do that. I don't know if that's necessary.
Boy, I don't know. With a 6-0 lead, that would almost...
Well, it's one of those
Is that
things,
kind of
you know?
cheap? Is that kind of cheap?
Well, I don't know. I mean, I wouldn't consider it cheap. I want to put the puck in the net. But
Troy Cooley behind his own goal will try to bang it off the boards and does. And able to clear the zone. 13 seconds left in the game. Mitch Petchula over to Gebhardt. Gebhardt to Kelsch. Kelsch makes a move at center ice, and that may do it. 4 seconds left. I think they're going to get the shutout. Kelsch brings it in. And before he can get the shot off, East Kentwood gets the victory. Little mulling around. Jeff Clark takes exception to something. What happened there was Kelsch took a shot well after the game had ended, after the final horn. The East Kentwood players didn't particularly appreciate that. In any case, the bottom line is 6-0. East Kentwood defeats Flint Powers in the final game of the Kentwood Classic Hockey Tournament, and East Kentwood improves to 18-2 this year, and again solidifies their hold on that #1 ranking in Class A. Boy, great game, and Flint, we're looking over at the players on the ice. Ron Baum goes over and gives a big hug to Brandon Freusland.
you have to. Anytime your goaltender doesn't let the puck go in the net, I mean, that's his job, and he did his, obviously, as well did the whole Kentwood team. The defense did a good job, and they scored goals when they had to. 6-0.
6-0 the final game of the Kentwood Classic. Let's take a break and come back and wrap things up from here at East Kentwood when high school hockey continues on TV 23. And then I'll give you a holler and maybe we can get right back into the play. Or get back into... Oh, okay. Do we have time to do... Okay. Ron, what do you think? Ron, what do you think? Do something? Can we do something? Oh, I see. They're going to have the... yeah, they're going to do the trophy thing. If you want to send it back to us, that's fine. Maybe we should get this on. Okay. Okay. that the all-tournament team?
I assume that's what they were doing, yeah.
I didn't hear the first one, whether it was Knuble or not. Jim? Oh, hang on just a second. Back at East Kentwood High School, Tim Saunders with Brett Heinlein, and we are getting the awards presentation here as the Kentwood Classic Hockey Tournament has come to an end. Kentwood will come out with the 2 victories, 2 shutout victories, 7-0 the first round Friday night, and the 6-0 final here. This is Ron Fales, the athletic director at East Kentwood, on the public address system, addressing the crowd. Brett, they announced an all-tournament team. I admit I did not pick up the first forward, but Jim Jensen and Jason Gravata were mentioned, along with Chad Borton, Troy Cooley, and Brendan Freuslin.
They basically took Kentwood's starting lineup.
That's what I thought. Now let's see who comes. Well, these are the captains that we're looking at now with the trophy. Jimmy Jensen with the trophy in his hand. Now he hands it to Brendan Freuslin. And we'll see if we might get a comment or two from head coach Ron Baum. Maybe get one of those guys to hand him the headset. Ron Baum down at ice level. We'll see if we can't get a quick comment or two from him. East Kentwood comes out with the 6-0 victory. And they improve to 18-2 this year. Brett, not exactly the close hockey game that I anticipated it might be. Flint Powers gave a game. Well, it was only 2-0 after the first period, but those 2 quick goals pretty much set the tone for the whole hockey game.
It really did, and it made Flint Powers play a more physical style of hockey and avoid, the offensive game that really puts the puck in the net. And because of that, Kentwood controlled the play throughout the game.
Let's go over the goal scorers as we have them. Steve Knuble, I guess the big star of this hockey game, with 3 goals. Knuble came in with 15, so he gets his 16th, 17th, and 18th goals of the year. Jim Jensen also had 2 goals, and Nathan Baum, Ron Baum's son, gets the final goal of the hockey game. That'll pretty well wrap things up from here at East Kentwood High School. The final score, East Kentwood defeats Flint Powers. The final score is 6-0. We've got another broadcast of high school hockey coming up on TV 23. It's one we want to tell you about. It'll be aired on February 23rd at 12:30. Next Friday night, it's East Kentwood against the Soviet Junior Red Army team. And Brett and I will be here to bring it to you, and we're very much looking forward to that showdown. For Brett Heinlein and our whole crew, I'm Tim Saunders saying thanks for joining us. Again, the final score here at East Kentwood, the Falcons defeat Flint Powers 6-0. Good night, everybody.